Hi guys, greetings to you all. It's been a crazy few days and a roller coaster of events and news releases from Manchester United and to Manchester United fans across the world. After our humiliation 5-0 defeat that we suffered at Old Trafford to Liverpool on Sunday, there's been a lot happening at the football club and a lot of news publications and articles, more precisely about the manager and this current coaching regime. We've come close to sacking Ole, from there to contacting Conte as his replacement, and then to finally deciding to give him a last minute chance, a last opportunity against Spurs, Atlanta and Manchester City to see whether he can be able to turn it around. And some say the club has done that because they want to give the next manager the best possible ever start that he can have, because to come in and be having to play 3 matches in about 7 days won't be the best for a new manager coming in. So they want Ole to see off these games, and then they can then from there make a decision. So that is what we are going to be talking about in this video, and discussing all of the news release items and all of that. So once again, I am Hamza Suleiman, and this is the Stratford Africa channel. So please get into the comment section as usual. Let me know your thoughts on all of the happenings and about the management and the coaching staff, and please subscribe if you haven't. Yes, and before we start, I want to say apologies to you all for my inability to bring you the match reaction to the Liverpool game. You all know how we felt after that game. I was really sad, I was devastated, and I didn't think I was in the right frame of mind to do this. So that is why I put that on hold for some days now. You can still feel that my mood is still not the best, but I'm trying to just bring you guys the content and the discussions that we've been having here. So please get into the comment section and let's get interactive. Yes, so we will start by sharing our sympathy to the manager and saying we are all sad because of where we are today. It's a resource business, and football is an entertainment business. So when the results are not coming your way, you can't help it but find yourself in this situation. Ole is a man we all love, and we all hoped that he was going to be the man to bring us back to the pinnacle of world football. But as things stands now, it doesn't look like that dream we all had is something that we are going to realize, because the tactics on the field and the results doesn't support that. Nonetheless, he's a man we still love and we still wish him well. He's a legend of this football club, and that will never ever change. Forget all of those who are on social media trying to abuse and downplay what he's done. I think he's a fantastic guy, and he still remains our legend. It's just sad that the romance we thought we were going to have with him is not coming. It's not going to be realized. That is what is very sad, and because he was someone who is so close and so attached to this football club, it would have been very nice for us to go on a very good run of winning things with him. You understand? Yes, but as I said earlier on, we need to move on and we need to look at why are we where we are today. What is it that has brought us this far, or to this position? What has Ole gotten wrong? And what are the things that if he had done better, we wouldn't have been in this situation, or he wouldn't have been in this situation? So key amongst them in my list is that I think he has shown too much favoritism, and he has shown a lack of trust in some of his fringe players, which haven't helped him at all. You understand? And then also another thing too is the fact that his coaching staff is not good enough. Even though he comes out every now and then to support them, to say they are fantastic, they are good, they are working hard, they are brilliant, what you see on the field doesn't suggest that. And I think if he had gotten himself a better backroom staff, things could have gotten way better than they are today. And then also last thing too is the bad tactics and the bad football that we see on the field. Tactically, he has proven to everybody that he's not there. He can't compete with the elite, the likes of the clubs, the Peps and the Tuchels of this world. Tactically, Ole is not there, and we shall be discussing that into details. I think I will use some few images from the Liverpool game to showcase to you guys some of the tactical problems that we have with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in charge. So that being said, favoritism is something that a lot of people have been talking about on social media, and I think I agree with that opinion. He seems to trust too much in his first 11, and he favors some particular group of players to play, regardless of whether they are doing well or not, regardless of whether the French players are putting in hard work in the in the training grounds or not, and regardless of, even recently he has even added whether the people are fit or not. He doesn't care. All he wants is those guys to play. Key example amongst them is Eric Bailly. Eric Bailly, for example, should have played our last 2 games ahead of Maguire, because Maguire just returned from injury. He started him with next to no training against Leicester City, and I bet you, if you analyze that Leicester game very well, at least Maguire cost us 3 of those 4 goals that we conceded. I think Bailey should have come in. And then last season, when Lindelof got injured, he had to play Bailey, and Bailey came in. Bailey did a fantastic job. You guys remember the game against Aston Villa? He threw himself and blocked a last-minute shot that was meant to score and equalize our 2-1 win. You understand? And then after the final whistle, all of the last were on Bailey, praising him. They were hugging him and patting his back, because he put in a very good performance in that run of games that he got when Lindelof was out. He put in man of the match performances, and then immediately Lindelof got back. What happened? Bailey was dropped. He wasn't even given a chance to stay in the team a bit to try and tell Lindelof someone has stepped up and he has done a good job, so you have to fight back to get that place back. Immediately Lindelof was back, he dropped him and he played Lindelof. And I think this season too, Lindelof is now the one suffering that fate, because ever since Varane has gone out of the team, Lindelof has been the better centre back between him and Maguire. But I bet you, if Ole is still here and Varane returns, Lindelof is going to be the one getting dropped and not Maguire. So why? What is it that is in Maguire that he can't be dropped? You understand? And that is just one example with Eric Bailly and the defense situation. If you come to midfield, there's people like Jesse Lingard, Donny van de Beek, who have all shown in training that they are up for it this season. Especially Lingard, the few cameos that he's gotten, he's been able to impact games in those little minutes that he's gotten. But up till now, he hasn't been able to get a meaningful start. Apart from our Carabao Cup exit game against West Ham, Lingard hasn't gotten that much of minutes lately. Donny van de Beek, reports have come out showing that he's been training well, and he's putting in the hard work in training, but he hasn't been rewarded with minutes on the field for that. So all these things are demoralizing, and it doesn't help motivate the players to want to show more in training, to want to show more on the field. Because if I know my place is guaranteed, no matter what I will be playing, then I won't, kill myself, Yes, another example is Alex Telles and Luke Shaw. We all know Luke Shaw was in brilliant form last season and he played superbly for England in the Euros. But this current season, Luke Shaw, number one, he hasn't been in great form, and number two, he's been there's been a few niggles here and there worrying him. But Solskjaer keeps picking him ahead of Telles. Even though Telles played in the Champions League against Villarreal, he started the game slowly, but he grew into it and he played very well. He even got us the equalizing goal. So people were expecting Telles to be rewarded with a Premier League game, but it didn't happen. Against Leicester City, Solskjaer picked an injured Luke Shaw again ahead of Telles. Or was that the Aston Villa game? Yes. And then Luke Shaw had to bandage all his knees to play that game, whilst you have a fit backup who's not that bad on the bench. You give these guys game time to boost their confidence, to show that you trust them and they can come in and do a job. But if you leave them out like that, it's not the best. So also, as I said, favoritism there, and then his backroom staff too, they are not good enough. We all know that Mike Phelan is the only experienced one amongst them, and even reports are coming out showing that he's not that much involved in the training ground. His role has more to do with a technical or directorship thing. He doesn't get much involved in the training sessions and stuff like that. The training sessions are mostly handled by McKenna and Carrick, and these guys are not experienced. Reports are coming out showing that McKenna's training ways are more suited to academy football, and I have no reason to doubt that, because he hasn't been at the top level yet. He has no coach at any top level. He's just been in the academy, and only promoted him to be his assistant. Carrick the same thing. Immediately after retiring, doing his coaching badges, he came back, and then he's the assistant coach. Eric Ramsey too hasn't worked at any top level. He's worked with the Chelsea under 23s, and then from there he's back. He is into our first team setup. So I think that setup is what really is letting Ole down. And if he had been bold enough to change that and gotten in more experience, more tactically astute people to partner him, he would have gotten more better results than we are currently getting. So that brings us to the main topic of the day, which is the bad tactics and the way we play football. The bad tactics and the bad instructions that is given out to the lads. And here I will be showing some few images to highlight these points. You understand? So I mean, number one in this area is the way we press. Everybody will agree with me, and it has been said several times, our press is crap. We don't press together as a team, and we don't even do the pressing well. There's something in this thing, like if you are not a good pressing team, you don't need to press. It's not by force to play a high press game. If you lose the ball, just fall back into your low block, get yourself organized, and then play on from there. But you don't know whether we are dropping into a low block or we are pressing. You see, as some people are dropping into low blocks, Bruno and others are up there pressing. So this disorganizes the team and throws the team shape out of balance. And Ole is standing at the touchline there, seeing this happen over and over and over again without saying anything, without even trying to change it. You understand? So our press is bad, and that is what usually throws our team shape out of place. And then our wingers don't track back well enough. You understand? These are all the reasons why Liverpool humiliated us the way they did. And I tell you that Liverpool didn't have to suffer to beat us. They could have gone up a year or two in that game, because they found it was too easy for them. Look at Van Dijk, for example. He didn't even sweat. There was nothing for him to do the whole game, because our team shape was crap. We were gifting them easy goals. Easy goals. You understand? Greenwood doesn't track back. Rashford doesn't track back. Ronaldo doesn't press. So if you have Ronaldo and people like that in your team, it's not by force you play a high press. Just tell the guys to keep their shape when they lose the ball, fall into a lower block, and get yourself organized. Then win the ball back and play from there. But some people are dropping back. Bruno is up there pressing, and things like that. It doesn't help. And this is not something that has happened in a one-off game. Throughout this season, you've been seeing it, and it is costing us chance after chance after chance. Paul Scholes warned us that we can't play the way we did against Atalanta, against Liverpool, and he didn't listen. And he went in and played that same tactic, that same 4-2-4 off the ball formation, and look at what happened. We got thrashed against Liverpool. You understand? So I think Ole's tactics is not the best. So let's take a look at this first image. This is what the situation from which Liverpool scored their first goal, and from this goal you can see that we have about 3 or 4 Liverpool players running towards our goal, with only Luke Shaw, the available man, to mark them. All of our players are behind that line of Liverpool players. The only one in front of them is Luke Shaw. So how can one player mark 3 or 4 players? So this goal, Salah could have scored it himself. He could have played Jota in. He could have played Keita in as he did. And he could have equally played Alexander-Arnold in, who was running onto loads and loads of space. You understand? So this situation happened when we were attacking Liverpool, and then we lost the ball. When we lost the ball, Wan-Bissaka was way high up, and Greenwood refused to track back. So because of that, Lindelof was pulled out of position to try and cover for the space that Wan-Bissaka has vacated. And when that happens, one of the holding midfielders had to drop into centre back position to cover up for Lindelof. and they were nowhere to be found. And to make matters worse, Maguire stupidly stepped into midfield to go and press the Liverpool player who was holding the ball then. And then the guy passed the ball, and then there was loads and loads of space behind Maguire, and which only Luke Shaw to cover. So what sort of defensive shape is that? Our players is all over the place. There's no shape, there's no framework to whatever we are doing. So this was a very silly goal to have given away. Maguire should have stayed, and Fred or McTominay should have dropped back when Lindelof was going to cover. Just keep your calm. Let them come to you with the ball. We are always drawn too much to the ball. That's one of our problems, you know. And then this next image too, I think, is Liverpool's second goal. Yes, in this image too, you can see that we have about 4 Liverpool players with the ball who are running towards our goal, with only Maguire and Lindelof in front of them. So how can these two guys deal with this situation? There's 4 Liverpool players, technically gifted, technically good players, who are facing our defense, and there's only 2 players there to try and rectify that situation. Shaw is way out of position. Our midfield pivot, once again, those who are supposed to protect the defense, once again, they are behind the ball. They are behind our opposition players who are having the ball. They are not in front of them. They are once again behind them. And we have only 2 defenders in position to try and solve a 4 versus 2 situation in our 18-yard box. And you wonder why we considered 5 goals, you know. So this is this team shape. And I can go on and on and on and bring you more images from other games. You understand? But this is our earliest, I mean, our last game we played, and the memory in this game is still fresh in our mind. That's why I'm using this. I can go deep into other games and pull out situations like this. This has been happening over and over again. That is why the manager's reign is coming under serious threat. You understand? So let's take a look. Another image. From here, you have Alexander-Arnold running with the ball into midfield, and our 2 center backs are in the center circle, with nobody else behind them. All our other players are behind the Liverpool players with the ball. So how can these 2 players defend this situation? There's 3 Liverpool players who are running in addition to the one who having the ball. So if this guy just switches the play to Jota here, that takes 1, 2, 3, 4 of our players out of that phase of play, and then we have only Maguire to deal with that situation. And when you are outnumbered like that, there's nothing you can do. So defensively, our team shape is bad. It really is bad. You understand? So let's take a look at this last image, and this one also, I'm using this to highlight the flaws in our attack too. So when we are attacking too, we keep a very bad shape. Our attacking structure too is non-existent. Look at our front 6. This image, I got it from United Arena. Credits to him. He's a football analyst on Twitter. You guys should check him out. Big ups to United Arena. He's a great guy. He does loads and loads of analysis. So this image is credit to him. And then let's take a look. You see the red, our players, that's our front 6 players trying to attack Liverpool's back line. And we are so narrow that we attack like we play in a needle. Look at the loads and loads of space on the wing there, where the scoreline is. Look, are we going to grow maize or cultivate wheat there? No, it's part of the football field. So let's make use of it. So one of our wingers should or 2 or 3 players should be there to try and widen up the pitch and drag this Liverpool defense out of position. But no, we all come and we all crowd ourselves in front of their 18-yard box and give them a very simple and easy situation to defend against. And in this situation, you can never score playing this way. You can't score playing this way. So look at our front 6. Look at the way they have lined up and how many Liverpool players are there to stop the situation. Nobody is making use of the weight, and nobody is trying to drag this defense out of position. And you wonder why we are struggling to score goals, and we keep on. But if Liverpool have the ball, we don't make it this difficult for them, because they know what they are doing. When they have the ball, they know what they are meant to do with the ball, and when they lose the ball, they know how they are supposed to win it back. But United, it doesn't work like that. Everybody else is doing their own thing. You understand? So that is why the Liverpool game epitomizes why this coaching regime needs to be under threat. The performance was really shambolic and it was bad. You understand? You can't play against top teams playing this way. maybe some of the small teams you can get away with it, and we've only taken 1 point out of our last, is it 5 or 4 Premier League games. This is relegation form, you know, and this is only Liverpool who is a top side in those games that we've played so far. Now we have Tottenham and we have Man City coming up, so the situation is really not looking great at all. But the board has decided to stick with Ole and give him a last chance to try and turn this around. So let's move on. I think that is the bad tactics situation there, in addition to his favoritism and his not good enough backroom stuff. This is what has gotten us to where we are today. So the board, as I said earlier, we're not going to act unless top 4 was becoming very, very difficult to get, and they've gotten ahead. They've proved me wrong, right, and they've left him in charge for a couple of games. So let's hope and see whether he can really turn this around, because last season, even though we were not that bad, but we weren't defending this badly. Our press was not good enough, but it was better than it is this season. So I don't know what has changed. We used not to be playing this badly at all. So Solskjaer needs to get back to the drawing board if he wants to keep this job and get back to the basics. If it means dropping some of the top players and big names, he has to do it, because it's a team game. He's the one who the board is going to come for his head, and not those players. So against Spurs, I expect to see changes in the team, but with the amount of favoritism he has, he might just stick with this team. You understand? So whether the board choosing to stick with him is a good decision or not, I think only time will tell. Only time will tell. So let's wait and see. I know his reign has come to an end though. A lot of people don't see him going past those 3 games and still be in charge. The club have seemed to be lining up replacements. They don't trust Conte. They think Conte has integrity issues and his style of play is more close to Jose Mourinho. But he's the only top manager available right now. All the rest are are having jobs now, and it will be difficult to get them. And Zidane is the other available option, and he doesn't seem to be interested in the United job. So these are the other factors that have tied the board hands to more or less keep sticking with Solskjaer. You understand? So please subscribe if you are new, and smash a like on the video and share the video to your friends and family, and invite more people to the community, and keep your comments coming in. Let's keep the interaction going on. So I think I'll bring the video to an end here, and please let me know what you think about all that we have discussed. The reasons why Ole is where he is today, his favoritism, his not good enough backroom stuff, and then his bad tactics and bad instructions on the field of play. So thank you very much for your support, and until we meet again next time, have a nice time to you all. Bye bye.